Hi, welcome to this month's Global Stampin' Video Hop, where it is all about Emboss Resist. I am going to be using this beautiful stamp set, inked and tiled, for this card today. So let's start off. I've got some Fluid 100 watercolor paper, and I'm just going to use some scrap paper for this. Now, I have my ink here, my Versamark. I'm just going to use my embossing buddy to start off with, just to stop any stray bits of powder getting on. And I have the ink pad. Now I'm going to take the Versamark pad to the stamp because it's a little bit bigger. Okay, just give it a good covering, and just press that down. It's going to be a bit difficult for you to see, of course. Not much you can see until we sort of get to a couple of the next stages, because this is a clear sticky substance which attracts the powder. Now it's even difficult for me, and I want to try and get it sort of in the right place for the second stamp. So hopefully I've got that right. Fabulous. And let's grab my embossing powder. I'm using the embossing tray here. I'm just going to scoop that up. Now I can see a couple of places that I've got. So I don't know if you know, but this is a fantastic tool for lots of things, the putty and the Pick Me tool. And I often use the putty if I get these bits of powder in the wrong place. I just find it really picks it up well. It's easy to use, and when I use a brush I tend to get it in the wrong place. It's probably hard for you to see that, but I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, a little bit that way. So we're going to use the heat tool now, so I'll fast forward this part. Right, so that's the emboss part of this card. Now we're going to do the resist part. So I'm going to use just an ordinary block here, and I'm going to add, with some Stampin' Right, some colour. So this is just random. So oops, wrong end. I want the paintbrush end. Just randomly add the colour. This is a Lost Lagoon, and this is Calypso Coral, and we have Pool Party. So as you can see, I'm not being very exact with this. Just making sure I get it pretty much covered. And then I'm going to use a spritzer, and I'm just going to lightly spritz this up. I'm going to just move it away from my work area though, so I don't get water over everything. And give it a good spritz. Then I'm just going to turn it over, and right, let's lift that up, and we have some beautiful colour on there. Just going to tap off a bit of the excess with a tissue. There we go. Right, so let's dry that off again. Next, I just want to add some splatters. I've just got a little bit of water over here. just going to add some splatters of water, just like that sort of messy watercolored look. There you go. Right, while that's drying a bit, we'll just do a bit of the inside, and then there's one other thing I want to do with this. Basic white cardstock, and I put a pool party piece under there, and I have got a mat here, and I am going to use, and I think I will just use the stamp and use some grey granite. I'm just going to stamp that flower in the corner like so, and pop it on the inside. Oops, I had a bit of water on there. I should take that off as well. And now I have used one of the basic embossing folders on the online, from the online exclusive store. And let's just put a bit of glue on there. Okay. And then I also have a mat to pop the next piece on. So this is dried off now, and there's one other way you can do emboss resist, and that is once you've embossed, not only can you watercolor or color and the embossing stays visible, you can also stamp on it. So I'm going to stamp on this as well, just add a little bit of shade to the stamp. So I'm going to try and get it a little bit close. It doesn't have to be exact, but I'm going to try and just get it fairly close to the other stamp, like that. And then I am going to use my tissue. Just going to wipe that off. And you see that comes off, the ink comes off the embossed area. And so that shadow just sits behind that embossing. There we go. Okay, now let's pop this together. I have got this mask here, just a small white basic mat, just a little bit bigger than the embossed piece, and I'm going to glue that on. And pop that then on the front. Okay, so I have done the sentiment. It is just a note that is from the stamp set as well. And I'm going to so I'm going to add a bit of tape on the back of this. Because I don't want a big knot in there. I'm just going to do a double bow, but without. So let's do this. Not going to tie the knot in the middle. Okay. Just twist that. There we go. I want to put dimensionals on there as well. So let's do that. Okay. Maybe just a little bit big. Half a one on this side. Okay. And trim that down. Right, I thought I might put some of these beautiful brass butterflies on. And let's have a look. So cute, these butterflies. Do love them. Oops. There we go. And beautiful. So that is Emboss Resist. I have done that with like a watercolor, faux watercolor. This actually, as it dries a little bit, will get a little bit lighter as well. And I've given a shadow to the emboss behind it, shadow effect on the embossing. And yeah, so I hope you enjoy that. I hope you give that a go. Make sure that you click on the next person's video and you watch some other fantastic ideas on how to use Emboss Resist. Thank you so much for joining me.